Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Arsenal Trips Galaxy podcast. I'm your host, Alonzo Spencer. I just want to say thanks for everyone for watching it on replay or whatever. Um, Today, we're focusing on what happened last year because haven't had time to do a podcast because of work and all that. But I'm going to do better by maybe uh, doing more of these podcasts, whether it be by myself or guest host. I've been, kind of not doing as much podcast because it's just, you know, I have issues with certain podcasters, but slowly but surely I'm trying to make it right by not being so critical. Um, there are things that happened. I'm not gonna go in the past and talk about that right now. However, I'm going to talk about basically what happened last year in sports. I know that some sports coincide with each other. Maybe some sports start earlier than others. So I'm just gonna talk about how I feel about how the season is going. In certain sports, my teams, of course, always get mentioned. We saw some this year. My favorite NASCAR driver retiring, Martin Truex Jr. finally retires after years of contemplating whether or not he should be back or not. And so finally, he decided that he was going to retire. It was in Iowa that he announced that. I believe it was in May. I think June, early June, that he announced his retirement. He had a good run. Unfortunately, the past couple of years, ever since the next gen car, kind of hasn't done as well. Unfortunately, I think there's a lot more to it, but he just won't say it. Having a crew chief that hasn't been good enough for years, has kind of, in my opinion, kind of drove him apart from the sport. Um, he was more than capable of winning races. Unfortunately, I think the the impatientness of the crew chief, James Small, really had a big part in that. I don't think they had a good relationship at all. I think it kind of got tiring at the end. Them always arguing about how to win races. He's always been not the fastest off pit road, which was always an issue. I thought um, this was a disaster. I think look back at the race at Richmond. He was winning a race. He was dominating that race, and caution came out. Kyle Larson um, and Bo Wallace caused the wreck, um, and Martin Truex ends up starting fourth and could never get the right balance to surpass. Actually, started second on restart. Sorry, Denny Hamlin jumped the line, and from then on out, Martin Truex Jr. had a fourth and didn't win the race. So all those things considered, he didn't have great playoffs. He barely made the playoffs himself. So because he was kind of doomed from the get go that he was not going to return, or ever since that announcement was made, in my opinion, he didn't give his all. Had our penalties on pit road, so that was an issue. At the end of the day, the best driver of the year was Joey Logano. He won his third championship. Now, if you know the history between him and Martin Truex Jr., they were rivals at one point, and a lot of fans don't like Joey Logano because of the way he races. But in my opinion, he earned it. He earned the playoffs. He earned the championship for outlasting his teammate Ryan Blaney, who won previous year. He beat Tyler Reddick, who I wanted to win, and he also outlasted William Byron, who is a great driver for Hendricks Motorsports. So, in all, it was a good NASCAR year, despite Martin Truex Jr. not finishing where he wanted him to, but it is what it is. Now in the NHL, the Florida Panthers beat the Edmonton Oilers. in 7 games, 43. Uh, as an I like NHL, but I have a good buddy of mine, Michael Darney, who supports the Panthers, so we're happy for him. It was a good series. Connor McDavid did his best to have them come back and make Game 7 out of it, but at the end of the day, the better team won. Um, the Flyers, my favorite hockey team, didn't do that well. They did well enough to get in the conversation of playoffs contention. Unfortunately, their youth played a big role in them coming out. They had a good run. It is what it is, but at the end of the day, uh, they'll get better and hope for the best for this coming year, which they haven't done that great. There have been some flashes of greatness, but unfortunately, their defensive core hasn't been great and disappointing. But Fire fans will be impatient and not realize that this is a work in progress. Now on the basketball. Last year, the Boston Celtics won. I don't even watch basketball anymore, but they were a pretty good team throughout the year, so they won the championship. I don't even know who they played. I think the Mavericks. I think. Um, but yeah, they won. I think it was Jaylen Brown that won the playoffs, the Finals MVP. Again, he and Jason Tatum were very good at what they did, and they earned it. Now on the football, NFL, the Kansas City Chiefs won their third championship, and Mahomes is a pretty good quarterback. Though they are slowly becoming the most hated team in the NFL because the referees kind of lean towards their way as far as getting the calls. And I can't stand Mahomes. I think Travis Kelce's okay. Though the whole him and Taylor Swift doesn't really bother me that much. It's quite hilarious how people get so offended by them. It's pretty funny. Now on to WWE. Um, Now the title contender, the title holder for the World Heavyweight Championship is Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is currently on SmackDown. Um, he's been a title holder since WrestleMania. Though Kevin Owens may think he's a world champion because he has a replica belt. Um, but yeah, they're going to fight at the Royal Rumble for the title, the world title. Um, so yeah, I've never really liked Kevin Owens. I think that he's been known to steal other wrestlers' finishing moves. So for me, he is just there for the antics and the rivalries he's created now with Cody Rhodes. Um, but yeah, we'll see how it works out. Um, Now to Arsenal. Arsenal currently sits second in the league. Title on points with Nottingham Forest. Um, to me, Nottingham Forest have played really well this year. You could say that they draw comparisons to a Leicester City from when they won their championship. I don't think they'll get there, but they've certainly got my respect. I think I think Gibbs White has been playing really well. I think that team has been playing very well. I think Espirito Santos. Uh, I always liked him as a coach. I think he did really well with Wolves. Unfortunately, if you're an Arsenal fan, he did pretty bad at Spurs. But also dropped there and got on with Nottingham Forest, which to be fair, they've been playing really well. And it's good for the Premier League to have an underdog team like that, like an underdog club rather. I think Nottingham Forest have been playing really well. They've shown up against the bigger clubs, and they've won majority of the time. Um, I've always said that the Premier League is the greatest league in soccer, football, because of things like this. Seeing an underrated club like Nottingham Forest, they got promoted up, I believe, 3 seasons ago, and they're finally making a mark in the league. Which, to be fair, historically speaking, they were in the league before, but through financials or what have you, they've kind of they kind of lost their way amongst the tables. League Two, League One, Championship now at the Premier League. So it's always a good sight to see whenever you're seeing a club that is not historically in it since the '90s, I believe, early 2000s, be back in the league, and it's good for a league. It's good to have competition like that. As far as Arsenal go, the past few years, us Arsenal fans have kind of getting our hopes up a little bit as far as how can Arteta make the team better. The recruitment, the past years prior, we got pieces to help us Arsenal fans have faith that we'll win the league one day. Arteta has done a good job prior to this year as far as getting the troops ready to play the matches. It seems like this year was unfortunate because we had a lot of injuries to a lot of key players. Mostly to Martin Odegaard and Kyle Saka and Ben White. And if you watch Arsenal, you guys will know how important that right side of the pitch is for us. I think back to 2 years ago when we were fighting City for the league first time, and how important Ben White was on that side as well as on Odegaard and Saka, because everything gelled. It seemed like that right side and left side, to be fair to Grant Xhaka, Martinelli, and Zinchenko, sometimes it worked. That's why we were so good that first year from the second. Um, and this year is a completely different story because Declan Rice was new last year, so the left side was kind of finding its way, whereas the right side was still gelling. But now this year, it's a complete mess because we're missing probably our right side. Because we're forcing, Odegaard was out for a long time because of the ankle issue he got with Norway. Ben White was out because he's been hurt trying to rebuild his right leg, having some damage done there over the years, kind of hurt Ben White, and he's been playing hurt. So that's also become an issue now. Odegaard and now Saka, probably the most important player and talented for the most part, because that right side is very important for Arsenal. The left side isn't doing that good of a job as it was 2 years ago because Martinelli's been sporadic. You talking about Declan Rice also being hurt as well, had a broken toe and other things as well. So you're forcing players out of position like Partey playing right back, and ever since Arteta moves from there, we've either drawn or lost the game. So that's not all parties' fault either. It's just the way Arteta wants to play him, which again is not his natural position. Uh, and for some reason, Mark Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes haven't really been playing that good. Or they've been playing great, but they're letting those easy goals in. Um, so because the injuries on the right and on the left, they're having to use Calafiori, Miles Lewis-Skelly, sometimes Zinchenko, whereas Tomiyasu would probably be the second choice left back. And unfortunately, he's always hurt. It's not that because he's a good player, because he's very good when he's healthy, but because of the injuries, he hasn't been playing that much. So which causes concerns if you're Arteta and the supporters of Arsenal, because who we are lacking goals when Kai Havertz or Jesus can't score the way we want them to. Uh, Jesus had a run of games where he'd score goals, but then that stopped. Havertz is very, very inconsistent. Because we're lacking Saka, we're lacking Odegaard for most of the first half, from September to October and November. So, all those things accumulate, we're lacking goals. For last year, we were getting a lot of goals from Trezor, Martinelli, Havertz, Saka, Odegaard, Rice. Now we're just trying to find a goal to save our lives, to save Arsenal lives rather. Um, so thank goodness we're good on corner kicks. Nevertheless, Liba, uh, they've been able to score from corner kicks, so thankfully for them, we get goals elsewhere. However, it's just kind of disappointing because we know Arsenal can win games. It's just that they're not finishing them, or they're letting easy goals in because of lack of man marking, what have you. Anyway, so that's my bet on Arsenal. Hopefully they beat Tottenham. Hopefully they beat Manchester United on the weekend in the FA Cup play. They play on Sunday. I'm working, unfortunately. Um, and so hopefully next Wednesday they beat Tottenham as far as conference booster in the league. Gain some ground in Liverpool. Of course, we need Tottenham Forest lose as well as Chelsea and City for that matter. No matter how bad City has been playing, Pep Guardiola has always has them playing really well. They're always going to be a nuisance to us Arsenal fans and other fans of other clubs as well. Now to switch gears now to wrestling. Um, Seems like Raw's first Monday Night Raw on Netflix was a success. At least that's what I thought it was. You had The Rock come out and just say a couple words about how him and his dad, Rocky Johnson, would tour the USA, and him being on Raw, him mentioning Little Rock being on Raw all those years later, and now being on Netflix, and how it's going to change the way uh, us viewers look at Raw and wrestling as a whole. Um, so I was really, really pumped up about Rock, really, after his appearance or after his feud with Cody Rhodes. He gave Cody Rhodes his props on Raw, which was almost fitting, which almost leads me to believe that the whole story between The Rock and Cody is not going to be dealt with. At least that's what I believe. I think maybe that's a good thing because it means more spotlight on Roman Reigns. They may have did a storyline switch where Kevin Owens is now going to be uh, the main heel for Cody Rhodes as far as that rivalry is concerned. Maybe Roman Reigns will still take on his cousin, and the new bloodline. See how that works out because obviously there's still issues there. I think from what I read and heard that there are more Samoans tokens coming out as a woodwork from the WWE uh, uh, fundamental programs. I don't know if that's even a word to say, but yeah, it seems like they're going to add more cousins or Samoans or whatever you call it, rather. Sorry. Yeah, so I'm very excited about how Raw is going to move forward. You also saw John Cena come out, and John Cena talk about his plans for the future. Give it one more shot. He announced that he's going to be joining the Royal Rumble, which is going to be exciting for all those John Cena fans out there. Me personally, I was never a John Cena fan, so to speak. I did like his matches in the past. And I thought the bit with him and Rock That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool as well. I guess him and his rivalry with Brock Lesnar, him and his rivalry with CM Punk, and other people as well. So I think John Cena deserves this. He also thanked the fans for everything they've given him. So yeah, I mean, I'm really looking forward to John Cena's last go in the WWE. Um, he still has attraction from the fans, and likewise, I guess from the fans respect him. I think John Cena adores his fans as well, or the fans in general. Very appreciative for John Cena. He's done for WWE, but I think what makes wrestling so great is just seeing wrestlers dip into acting. Like like I don't know if the Undertaker's ever been in a movie, maybe so in the past, maybe on TV shows. But you're seeing Rock, Batista, John Cena. Uh, in the past, you're seeing Hulk Hogan dip into acting. So it's good to see wrestlers do other things except wrestling. It's good to see them being good actors. I think I mentioned on another podcast and how good of an actor Batista is being. Um, and I think it suits him. I think it suits Rock being an action star. John Cena has a comical side to him, but it works. It'll be interesting to see who the next great wrestler actor is going to be, to tell you the truth. Um, Next up is Rhea Ripley won her belt back, or she won a championship over Liv Morgan. The Undertaker came out making a cameo. Drew McIntyre won his match, I believe. Um, and CM Punk beat Seth Rollins. I just got home for that match, and I'm rewatching it again. I I know I think that this rivalry is far from over. I think CM Punk still has it. Obviously, seeing how he did two GTOs on Seth Rollins. Um, I was talking to a customer last night. I was after I left work, and he had on his CM Punk sweater or hoodie, and we were talking about wrestling and Peacock and Netflix, and it's a different dynamic when you're, as a kid you're so used to having Raw on the USA Network, and now you're going to see SmackDown on the USA Network, and you're going to see different dynamics changing, and you're gonna get used to it, right? And I think it's been good for both brands to be on Raw on Netflix and SmackDown. I'm very encouraged by that, and I think Triple H has done a good job in promoting both shows for them to be marketable. Um, I think it's kind of also kind of cool to see old superstars come back as an Undertaker. You're seeing some of them in the audience in the suite as well. Hulk Hogan making an appearance. I didn't pay attention to him getting booed. Though it's a shame that politically it's gotten too much. But it is what it is. But yeah, overall, I think Raw being on Netflix is a good thing. Hopefully, it'll bring others. Hey, Russ, how's it going, pal? The Russ is Rustless. How's it going, pal? Yeah, man. Uh, Russ always teases me or jokes that who are these guys? And Jason Kelsey and Lane Johnson, brother. Oh yeah. Yeah. See you soon, Russ. Anyway, so yeah. I'm very excited about how Raw is gonna move forward. With how they're gonna go in the future. I'm still wondering if pay per views are still gonna be on Peacock or Netflix. Either way, I'm still subscribed to both of them. I think it's pretty amazing what Triple H has done. The Rock has done um, to make it happen to where viewers can now watch on Netflix. and the mat looks different as well. Having certain sponsors on the mat is interesting. You have Fortnite sneakers. It looks like a boxing match. Netflix is also on there. It was like one of those old school '90s UFC matches, right, Russ? Right. So this weekend here in the States, really big weekend. Simply because the NFL playoffs start, and if you know me on social media, etc., you know I'm a big Eagle fan. So the Chiefs are the number one seed in the AFC, and the Lions are the number one seed in the NFC. Yeah, pal, I'm good, man. Just doing a podcast. I know some people really aren't probably won't be happy about me being a podcast on 2 o'clock on Thursday afternoon, but it is what it is. But yeah, man, I'm all right. Just hanging out my day off. So yeah, I can't wait to see you. Let's talk about Raw or wrestling later on today. Russ is a good person. Russ is a good friend of mine. I've known Russ for a long time. We've been podcasting about random stuff for about over a little 2 years now, Russ. Maybe a year ago now. But yeah, I'm good to see you, your mate. Right. So let's see. Uh, so the first games of weekend will be so tomorrow. It's gonna start. Well, no, Saturday. So Saturday is the Chargers and Texans. Thanks, man. Appreciate it, Russ. Saturday is at 3:30, which is 9:30 England time. It's the Steelers, excuse me, Texans and Chargers. I live in Houston area, so I know friends of mine will be watching that game. I'm off, so I might watch it somewhere with a friend or so. Then on Saturday, it's the Steelers and Ravens on um, Amazon Prime. And then on Sunday, you have the Broncos and Bills, which I hope the Broncos lose for obvious reasons. Um, that game is at 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock written time. Yeah, man. Rest in peace is a joke I have at work, Russ. So anytime I see my coworkers, right, I roll my eyes to the Undertaker and say, "Rest in peace." If you work where I work at, Russ, you understand. It's like a hello, mate. How you doing today, pal? Kind of thing. Um, my coworkers and I do that all the time. I started at work, and if you remember, Shawn Michaels so die, he comes in here, Chris, and go do it, and then my other coworker Zach does it, and my other coworker Logan does it. It's really funny, and it is how you do it, pal. It's really funny. And go back to football, right? So then you have my Eagles play the Packers on Fox at 3:30. I'm working that day, but I'm gonna try to go for earlier so I can watch it. Right. So then at night you have the Commanders and Buccaneers at 7 o'clock on NBC. Then the Monday night game is the Vikings versus Rams on Monday Night Football on ABC/ESPN. So my pick to win it all is the Eagles, of course. They're gonna play the Lions in the NFC Championship game. Realistically, I think the Chargers will be an upset pick of mine, and they're gonna play the Broncos in the AFC Championship game. That's just how I feel. I can't stand the Ravens. I can't stand the Steelers. I can't stand the Chiefs. And I can't stand the Bills. No, sorry, I meant the Bills versus the Chargers. Right. So what were your thoughts on Raw? If you watched Raw on Netflix, what did you think about it? Do you think that it was a good thing, or do you think that it'd be better? Do you think that the card was all right? Do you like the wrestling matches? I'm sure we talk about it later on, but I just want to give your thoughts about how you think it all went down, or do you like the guest appearances by Undertaker, Rock? Triple H was really fired up. I kind of relate. It's like everything that the company went through with Vince McMahon. I kind of thought that he's done a pretty good job of restoring the faith of the fans. I think WrestleMania had a big part in that. But yeah, I'm excited about how this company is going in the future. I know that AEW is trying to do the same thing with Max, and but yeah, I'm very excited, like I said. And also AEW, I don't really watch much AEW because the fact that I don't know, I really haven't given them much of a chance. I haven't really given them much of a chance to watch. But I may start watching it because just get a feel of how it is. Um, but yeah, like I said, looking forward to how the rest of the season is going to come about with Arsenal. Hopefully they make some signings. Try not to read too much in the rumors. Because we all know I get my hopes up and I get even more mad at Arteta for not trying to make the move. Um, but yeah, I'm sure we'll talk about all of that today on the Arsenal Fan Circle. I'm gonna try to because Penn State is also on. Oh, so I forgot today is Penn State versus Notre Dame, and then tomorrow it's Ohio State versus Texas. And I want, of course, Penn State to win. But I don't think Notre Dame is gonna be that good. I don't think Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame is gonna choke as usual because it's like they always do in these kind of games. And I think Texas. I want Texas to win because I can't stand Ohio State. So there you go. I can't wait to watch this game. Someone I may or not may not be on Arsenal fan circle. If I am, I'm gonna be a bit late. But yeah, looking forward to watching it. Um, but yeah, I just want to let you guys know that hopefully I get more of these podcasts in because I really do like doing this podcast, whether it be by myself or a co-host. Today's podcast was just on a whim. I've been doing going one before today, but I really haven't had a chance to write notes or anything like that. I'll be honest with you, I really haven't had time watching the Arsenal games because of work's been so busy, which is a good thing. I'm getting more hours at work, so it's a good thing. But I do miss watching Arsenal. I do miss talking on these podcasts. Um, so yeah, as the year goes on, hopefully I get more of these in because I do want my podcast to do well. It doesn't mean I have to get more viewers. It doesn't mean I have to get more comments. I just want people to enjoy the content that I have. So yeah, I'm working really hard to try to become more consistent with my podcast. Is what I'm trying to say. Um, and looking forward to talking to you guys more. Maybe you, Russ, or Stan. Um, maybe Stefan can come in every once in a while, say hello. Maybe on these more weekends. Just depends. But right now, like I said, this is just on a whim. So hopefully, guys, I see you guys on the next one. You guys take care. Have a good day. Enjoy the weekend. And Russ, I'll see you later, pal. Bye. Take care.